Hello, respected viewers. I'm speaking to you from a secret location. Anyway, so here I am in Southampton, United Kingdom. I can't think of anywhere else in the world that's named in its honour. There probably is, but the fact that none pops into my mind is revealing in and of itself. So I know around here it will appear to have an almost Albanian level of urban ugliness, but there are places which are more picturesque. It'd be harder to be bland than this, and there's some real 60s socialist, brutalist, ferroconcrete monstrosities not too far away. It reminds me of what the then Prince Charles wrote about in his vision of Britain. Like, some buildings are like carbuncles on the face of a much-loved friend, but at least they brightened up with the graffiti artists. I mean, is that really graffiti, or would you call it street art? So it's a city of about 260,000 souls. We're about 80 miles from London on the Solent. The Solent is an inlet from the English Channel here. It's been a major port, settled since the Roman times in 43 AD. And what else about it? So, yeah, it's quite a prosperous city. Never had very high unemployment. It was a somewhat rough sailors' town a generation ago, and there was quite a lot of street prostitution, drug addiction and so on, but it's cleaned up. There's not that much crime here. It's got a well-regarded university, part of the Russell Group. So the top 20 or so research universities in the United Kingdom are called the Russell Group because they have a meeting at Russell Square, London, every year. Now, because around the railway station and docks were heavily bombed in the Second World War, had to rebuild fast and cheap after 1945. If you go that way and to the right, there's a cultural quarter, the Civic Centre. It's more handsome than here, could scarcely be less so. What else? So major cruise ships take off from here. Cunard Line has as their the base of their operations the ill-starred Titanic. Set sail from here in April 1912 when the captain decided to play chicken with an iceberg. Well, the iceberg didn't move. He had been somewhat warned about it, but this wasn't the last stop. They stopped at Queenstown, Ireland, as is now Cove, County Cork, was the last place they took on passengers and mail and blah, blah, blah. So you see these sort of things. What do you think? So it's an unusually sunny day here, and not very windy. Often you can smell the sea salt otherwise. It's got plenty of fine urban parks. So Southampton University is the older one. The former Polytechnic University is now called Southampton Solent University. So most British cities have got two universities, and the older one's got the shorter name. The one that was granted university status post 1992, when John Major doubled the number of universities, has a longer name. So Southampton University is the pre-1992 university. Southampton Solent was a polytechnic before 1992, and that's way down the rating of roughly 140 universities in the United Kingdom. It's not that ethnically diverse considering where it is. This is the birthplace of Rishi Sunak, but it's not all bad, this city. Despite that, don't let that put you off. And when he was here, they're one of the only Indian families in the city. We're in the county of Hampshire. So those Southampton Football Club, I'm told Southampton FC are fairly good. Remember, Matt Letizia was a real star back in the 90s, and the Dell is their stadium. In case you don't know, it means a sort of a depression in the ground. Right. So what else about that? Yeah. And then it's fairly flat because it's so close to the littoral. We're, scarcely a mile from the sea here. There's also Southampton Dennis Station. They've got Southampton Airport as well, but that only flies to a few fairly nearby continental destinations as well as to around the British Isles. So yeah, hard to think of famous people from here. The Spitfire was first built here in Southampton. Right, so that's about enough from Southampton right now. So thank you for watching my video. What do you think? Not worth a visit really, but I have to have a look around sometime. Okay, toodle pip.